You ever think about how the folks we hang out with end up shaping us? Take Kiyotaka Ayanokoji, for example, navigating the tricky halls of his high school, picking his friends like chess pieces in a game that's more about brains than brawn. It's kind of like when you're choosing your crew, isn't it? Do they lift you up, or are you just cruising together because it's easy? It's wild, but who we vibe with really does sketch out the blueprint of who we're becoming. So, who's in your corner, shaping your next move? Realization and transformation, Kiyotaka's awakening. Remember that turning point, kind of like when you're half asleep and something just clicks? For Kiyotaka, it wasn't a loud wake-up call. More like the quiet before the storm. Right in the heart of the school's complex social game. It hit him during one of those typical strategy-laden days, masked by his usual calm demeanor. He saw the endless loop he was in, playing it safe, staying under the radar. But then, why settle for just blending in? That's when the gears started turning. Kiyotaka decided it wasn't just about making it through another day, it was about steering the ship, not just riding the waves. He started playing the long game, thinking 2-3 steps ahead. Not just for kicks, but to genuinely uplift those around him. It's all about those subtle moves, right? The ones that make you stop and wonder, what if I stopped just going with the flow and actually paddled my own canoe? That's Kiyotaka for you, turning the tides, making ripples in still water. Navigating friendships, the shift in relationships. Ever notice how when you start changing, not everyone's ready to hop on board with you? Kiyotaka felt that big time. As he dove deeper into his own game of chess at school, some pals just couldn't keep up. They were cool with just floating along, but Kiyotaka, he had his eyes on the prize. Take Suzune Horikita, for instance. She's all about hitting those high marks, kind of like Kiyotaka, but in her own solo way. Then there's Kikyo Kushida, Miss Popular, working her charm like it's her job. But here's the kicker, as Kiyotaka starts moving his pawns, knight and bishops, subtly changing the game, it's like he's dancing on a tightrope. Balancing those friendships, figuring out who's really in his corner and who's just there for the ride. It's a tricky biz, making those calls, deciding who's with you on this journey of leveling up and who's just dead weight. It's all about reading the room, making those smart moves, and sometimes letting go to move forward. Loneliness and self-realization, the price of growth. If you ever feel like you're on your own island, especially when you start cutting ties with the crowd that just doesn't get it, that's the page Kiyotaka was on. As he drifted from the shallow hangouts and small talk, the silence got loud. Real loud, but here's the thing about solitude, it's not just empty space, it's room to think, grow, and get real with yourself. Kiyotaka found his stride in that quiet. It's like when you're up late, everyone else is asleep, and you're left with your thoughts, your plans. That's when the magic happens, right? He started seeing who he really was, what he was capable of, beyond the grades and the games. Sure, it stings at first, feeling like you're the only one who's rowing the boat. But then, you hit this sweet spot where you realize you're building something solid, something that's all you. That loneliness, it turns into your own kind of company, the kind that pushes you, challenges you, and makes you a bit of a lone wolf. But as they say, it's better to walk alone in the right direction than with a crowd going nowhere. Defining real friendship, Kiyotaka's criteria. And so what's the real deal with friendship according to Kiyotaka? It's not about who's got your back at a party or who's down for a laugh. It's about who's there when the chips are down, who's pushing you to be your best even when it's a drag. Kiyotaka's not about that let's chill and do nothing vibe. He's looking for folks who are in the game to level up just like him. Remember how he nudges Suzune, not just to team up for grades, but to really tap into her potential? Or how he's always in this chess match of wits with Kikyo, pushing and pulling, challenging each other's moves. That's his kind of friendship, a bit like iron sharpening iron. He's all for the kind of relationships where you're not just coasting, but constantly testing your limits, asking the hard questions, and not shying away from the tough answers. It's about that mutual respect, where you're both in it to win it, not just hanging around for the good times. For Kiyotaka, real pals are those who stand in your corner, ready to spar, helping you grow, not just filling space. It's a tall order. But then again, the best things in life usually are, right? Becoming a catalyst for change, Kiyotaka's influence. And ever think about not just going with the flow, but actually redirecting the river. That's Kiyotaka's jam. He's not just in the game, he's changing the game, making waves in a pond that's been still for way too long. It's not about just fitting into the mold, it's about breaking it and making a new one. Like that time he subtly steered his classmates towards a strategy that none of them saw coming, but all of them benefited from. Or how he's always behind the scenes, pulling strings, making sure everyone's playing to their strengths, even if they don't know it yet. It's a bit like being a gardener, planting seeds, then stepping back and watching them grow, knowing you had a hand in it. Kiyotaka's got this knack for seeing the big picture, understanding that real growth, real change doesn't come from just towing the line. It comes from challenging the status quo, from believing that everyone's got more to offer, including himself. And the best part, he's all about bringing others along for the ride, making sure that when the tide rises, all boats lift. That's the kind of leader, the kind of friend, the kind of catalyst Kiyotaka is. Choosing your circle, quality over quantity. You know how some folks collect friends like they're going out of style? Kiyotaka's not about that life. He's picky, like a chef choosing ingredients for a Michelin star meal. It's all about quality, not how many you've got on your list. He's looking for those rare gems, the kind of people who bring something to the table, who make you think, yeah, this is someone I can learn from, grow with. It's like when he connects with someone, it's not just about filling a seat, it's about adding value, sparking a challenge, igniting growth. He's the type to have a few solid folks in his corner rather than a crowd of acquaintances. And it's not just about being choosy for the sake of it, it's about knowing that the people you surround yourself with are reflections of who you are and who you want to be. They're the ones who will push you, question you, and celebrate the wins with you. Kiyotaka's approach, it's about building a squad where everyone's pushing the envelope, where comfort zones are just jumping off points. It's about that mutual drive to be better, smarter, stronger. Because at the end of the day, the circle you choose is a testament to the life you're aiming to lead. Outro. Wrapping up, just like Kiyotaka navigates the twists and turns of advanced nurturing high school, we've got to be cool with our friendships evolving as we do. It's not about sticking with the same old because it's comfy. It's about growing together, tackling life's puzzles side by side. Real pals? They're the ones who cheer you on as you climb, ready to catch you if you slip. Remember, the journey's all about leveling up together. If this hit home for you, don't just sit on it. Drop a comment, share your thoughts, and hey, smash that subscribe button for more insights. Let's keep growing together.